Now, going over to the political part podcast of Governor Hochul squirms as a list of crimes are read off to her in her sanctuary shitties. And that was not a speaking mishap. I usually call cities shitties because they're, full of crime and terribleness. This is brought to us thanks to End Wokeness. Now, he says, quote, Governor Hochul squirms in her seat as she listens to brutal crimes committed due to the sanctuary policies she signed. Devastating exchange. And it's a little long, so probably only listen to a minute or two without too much further ado. This is somehow credited to, is it Fox now? Can't believe they're still in business, but nevertheless.
Thank you. Governor Hochul, on your first day in office, you signed Executive Order 1. Is that correct?
I believe it is.
And you extended this executive order not once, not twice, but 3 times, most recently January 16th of this year. Is that correct?
If that's what your facts show, I signed countless executive orders.
I would assume you'd know it's
laws.
Executive Order 1. And this is a continuation of your predecessor's sanctuary state policies, correct? Is included in that.
I want to be sure we are defining sanctuary state properly.
I'll define it for you. It is the policy of the state that state officers or employees shall not disclose information to federal immigration authorities for the purpose of federal civil immigration enforcement. It goes on to say, law enforcement officers may not use resources, equipment, or personnel for the purpose of detecting and apprehending any individual suspected or wanted for violating a civil immigration office. Law enforcement officers have no authority in the state of New York to take any policy action solely because the person is an undocumented alien. That's a quote in your executive orders that you extended. Now, do you know who Sakir Akan is?
I want to get back to the first part.
No, I'm asking a question. Do you know who Sakir Akan is?
I want to make sure you understand that this simply says that we will cooperate with ICE.
No, it does not say that. I read what it says, and let me talk to you about the results. Do you know who Sakir Akan is? You should, as the governor of New York State. Do you know?
Refresh my recollection.
He was an illegal migrant in New York. And do you know what crime he committed in addition to being here illegally?
No, I do not.
You do not. This was widely reported. He found a 15-year-old girl, threatened her with a metal pole.
Definitely not family-friendly part of the show. Sorry, should have had that preface, but yeah, I'll definitely have the earmuffs on the kiddos if they're listening today.
Told her to get into the back seat of his car. He took her clothes off, and he violently raped her in Albany, New York. Do you know who Sebastian Zapita Khalil is?
I'm sure you'll tell me there's many cases, whether they're
These are high-profile cases. Yes. New Yorkers know about them, and you don't. So let's talk about Sebastian Zapita Khalil. Do you know who that is?
I don't have the specific details at my disposal, no.
Well, this is an illegal migrant in New York because of your sanctuary state policies. Do you know what crime he committed?
I'm not familiar at this moment.
I bet you're going to be familiar when I remind you. He found a sleeping woman on the subway, lit her on fire, and burned her alive. This is in Kathy Hochul's New York. And as I'm sure you are aware, and I'll remind you, that ICE issued an order to detain this violent criminal, but that was rejected by New York officials due to sanctuary state laws. Now, do you know who Raymond Rojas Basilio is?
I just want to say this. These crimes are horrific.
Because of your sanctuary state policy.
I'm actually surprised you condemned them.
In all of these cases, we would work with ICE to remove them.
You did not in this case. They are walking on the streets because of your policies and your executive order that you signed 3 times. Now, Raymond Rojas Basilio, do you know who that is?
I'm telling you this. I will explain to you the policies of New York. We cooperate with, I know you're just trying to.
You do not. Specifically, ICE was told not to detain this individual, and he burned a woman alive.
Just like Chicago, just like Minneapolis, just like Los Angeles. Again, they've been sanctuary cities and states for years. And of course, they're to blame for this. Now, this got right under 1 million views and 46,000 likes and added yet another reason not to visit New York anytime soon. Now, one of the first ones, well, I'm a little biased. Not the most liked one, but it's the most handsome comment from me, the Topping Show on X, in which I say, hey, retard finder, found another one for you, getting 1 like. Well, that doesn't sound like a lot, but if Trump would probably say something to the kind of, sure, it was only 1 like, but it was the best like, bar none. The coolest of awesome people follow Topping at the Topping Show on X. We also have Gunther Eagleman, who said, quote, is Hochul the worst governor in America? Getting 6.6 thousand likes. Ooh, that is a good question. Who'd be worse, her or Tim Walz or Bowser? Oh, that's hard to say which one's the worst. Paul Suzupa also says, quote, holy crap, she just got politically obliterated. 283 likes. Barefoot Pregnant says, sanctuary state are disasters for law-abiding citizens, gained 32 likes. Artard says she looks effing evil, gained 738 likes. Mega Fan 1776 says, quote, looking at Hochul's face, she had so many plastic surgeries done. Nothing is moving. She's disgusting, getting 396 likes. This is an interesting profile. The profile's name is the SCIF says, after hearing all of this over and over about multiple people in office in our government, the massive amounts of crime and corruption, the $1 million question is, why are they still in office and not in prison, getting 815 likes? Well, I would argue, I'm not arguing. I would say the reasoning is that a lot of people do not watch the news, especially leftist voters. I mean, they have an entire platform that's vote blue no matter who. I don't think most people actually know 1 or even 2 bullet points about the candidates that they vote for. I think many people are like this. I think it is a little bit much more frequent on the left, politically speaking. But yeah, there are a lot of people who just vote just because there's a D or an R next to someone's name in the ballot booth. We also have Ando Cat saying she's an arrogant woman. Her attitude is, how dare you question the governor? WTF, she's a psycho, getting 453 likes. True. Sarah Smith says, Kathy Hochul, or Hochul, however you say her names, loves her illegals. And there's a picture compilation of the rest voters, and it says, quote, illegals committing, again, cover your ears if you have children listening. I'm going to try to reword the vernacular so it's not so inappropriate. And it says, illegals committing abuses on our child in the worst possible way, in an adult way, protected by Democrats in sanctuary cities, getting 246 likes. Yeah, Julie McBain says, quote, it is good that the people of her state tell that she doesn't even know the high-profile incidents with the illegals. Why? She obviously doesn't care. She has security, and she needs these voters. That's what it's all about, getting 204 likes. Daryl says, good, roast that bitch, hold her accountable for her failures, getting 36 likes. Lori138 says, quote, I'm not trolling. I legit want to know. WTF is the point of any of these sessions? Nothing even comes out of them. Just more opportunities for these Democrats to confirm what we already know. In this case, and straight up teabag me over it because no one is ever going to stop them. Okay, 199, let's take it 200 likes. Yeah, that's the downside of a lot of Republicans. They pretend to do a lot. They'll get some viral screenshots or some, more accurately, videos of them roasting Democrats. But very, very rarely is anyone held accountable in politics in general, which I hope we actually elect some people that will hold people accountable. But yeah, I don't think, maybe Kathy will raise $1 less this year for her re-election campaign, but in terms of accountability, let me know if you think, will she be recalled? Will anyone ever, will she be primaried? Will someone try to take her spot? Will people in New York, will they vote differently? Let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.